everybody, this is Mike Basile from RectifyGaming, and I'm here at the Rooster Teeth booth interviewing Mr. Chamberlain.
Hi, Jeff Chamberlain from Rooster Teeth Games. I'm primarily a game engineer that works on Ruby Grim Eclipse, but also just a part of the team.
Very nice to be here, man. Very nice to meet you.
Meet you as well.
Now, originally when I read the email, we were here for Ruby, but when I came to the booth, I also saw battle slots.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're here both showing Ruby Grim Eclipse, which is the first game that RT Games actually developed, but we're also showing Battle Slots, which is the first game that RT Games is publishing, and we're really excited about it. We discovered it about a year ago, came in and played it as a team, and just really fell in love with it. So it's a really fun game and an exciting opportunity.
Now, how is it for working Rooster Teeth?
It's great. It's great. One of our producers describes it as a unicorn job, which is that it's just one of those things you don't find really very often, where it's just a great situation, great people, and coming to work every day is really fun. I don't think I've ever had another situation where, you know, I'm looking forward to getting back to Austin so I can keep working as soon as I get home. So it's really, really fun.
Now, looking at the videos and everything that's on your channel and whatnot, you know, you seem to have a really fun time at work. Is it always like that? Or there's always like time for play and time for fun and all that? Or time for business?
Yeah, I think sometimes the videos make it look a little bit more chaotic than what it actually is from day to day. But we definitely find time for fun. A couple of people from our team have invented a game called Chairball, where they just have a chair against a wall, and they've been throwing a ball and trying to get it to land on the chair. And they do that almost every day, to the point that like people who don't even work in the office are coming to visit us and are saying like, I heard that this is where Chairball is. Can you teach us the game? Can you show it to us? So stuff like that, yeah, that definitely happens. And if you follow our Twitter a little bit, you might see some videos of us shooting a basketball into a hoop. Yep. So yeah, there's definitely plenty of that. In fact, when we launched Grim Eclipse, we had a competition to see who was actually going to press the button to see who could launch it. And the competition was to see who could shoot the ball into the hoop from a certain distance. And we kept having to move the distance up because none of us were hitting it, and it took way too long. We were supposed to launch this like 15 minutes ago. But eventually Andy Cortez, who is one of our designers, did it. So.
Now, describe a little bit about yourself. I understand that you moved from a different company in California to Austin, Texas to be with Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, that's correct. So my undergrad was actually in theater. I thought I was going to be an actor for most of my life, and then I went to college for it, and that didn't exactly pan out. I went to USC, got a master's in interactive media, which was really great. It's a fantastic school. And then as soon as I got my master's, I went to a few different places actually. I worked at a company in the theme park industry for about a year and a half. I went to Starbreeze for a little bit, who are the developers behind Payday 2 and some other titles you might be familiar with. And then, you know, I saw the opportunity. They posted a job posting looking for a game engineer, Rooster Teeth did, online, and I applied, and lucky enough to get the job. So it just was really the right time in my life, and I was ready to move somewhere else and get a new opportunity, and Rooster Teeth provided that, and I've been nothing but happy with it so far.
Good, I'm very glad to hear that. So, with the game Ruby that you were an engineer on, you told me that you came through about a third of the way through?
That's correct.
So, how true to it, to the story, to the actual, to the anime, how true to it is this video game to the story itself?
Oh, it's 100% true. I mean, that was our number one goal when we were developing it, was to make sure that we did something that worked within the story and that fans would want to play, to give them the actual opportunity to play as these characters that they've grown to know and love as they've watched the TV series. So the story itself in the campaign is actually canon to the Ruby world, and it's set between volumes 1 and 2. So it's an actual thing that these characters go through, and like I said, every design decision was driven by, you know, what is faithful to the series, what would these characters actually do, and if I'm someone who really likes this character, what am I going to want to be able to do if I'm playing this character, if I'm slaying Grim. So yeah, we really hope that it's as faithful to the series as we could possibly be, and the reaction from the players seems to suggest that we hit our mark.
Now, are there more volumes to the story of Ruby? They're like, you said it was set between season 1 and 2?
Correct.
Now, how many of them, for the people who don't know at home, how many of those stories are there?
So they just wrapped up volume 4, and so there's 4 out there available. You should be able to view all of them on roosterteeth.com or on YouTube. And then I know a couple of the volumes are available on some other streaming sites. I know some of them are on Netflix, but if you just search, then you can find them. But obviously, roosterteeth.com is the #1 place to find them. And I know they've already started thinking about Volume 5, so that should be coming out sometime in the future.
Now, with all this production going on with the story itself, are you guys going to try to move forward with it to make like a season that's set between 1 and 2? Maybe you want to make a game that's between 2 and 3. Maybe continue the story with them.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. I know we'd all definitely be down to do another game and to do another Ruby game, and whatever the creators think is something that they want or something that they might want to see. So yeah, you know, right now we've been so bogged down by getting out. First of all, releasing the game. And then we released our DLC pack of Team Juniper back in October. Just on Friday, we released DLC of costume packs for all of the characters. So now you can play any of them in their school outfits or in their dance outfits, which I told you before includes John in a dress, which I just think is great and hilarious. And then, of course, getting the game out on console. So we're only just now to the point where all of those things are out and finished. And so now we're just kind of looking and seeing the reaction and engaging what people want and what other things they may think, and we'll go from there.
So now with this game being set the way that it is, a quick description, what is the game about?
Ruby Grim Eclipse. If you're familiar with the series, it's about Team Ruby. But if you're not with the familiar, it's a set of sort of younger aged people who go to this academy where they learn to fight these monsters and slay them, and they're basically out to save the world. And in the game, they've discovered that something wrong is going on in this certain section of the world, and they're discovering these clues to see that there's some plot, and in fact, something is happening to the Grimm, which are the monsters that they're fighting, and they're trying to figure out exactly what it is and who could possibly be behind it. So as you play through the campaign, you learn a little bit more about this character who is a villain that only exists in the game, actually, and what he's up to, and ultimately try and stop him.
So, with the game being out, what platforms can you find it on, and how much is it?
Okay, so it's on Steam, Xbox One, and PS4. I believe it's still $20 on all of those platforms. And then the Juniper DLC is an extra $5. And the costume packs we just released are $2 each.
So, now moving on to Battle Slots.
Yes.
Battle Slots.
Yeah.
Give me a quick explanation about that game, because when I was playing it before, I saw that, you mentioned about the thousands and thousands of hats that you guys have.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Yeah. So Battle Slots is a couch multiplayer game, kind of in the vein of Towerfall Ascension. You play as Sloths, and you're collecting pizza. So in fact, the full name of Battle Slots is Battle Slots 2025, The Great Pizza Wars. So it's, and that is definitely the attitude and tone of the whole game. you basically you're fighting each other. Every time you shoot someone, they drop a slice of pizza, and you have to go collect it and bring it back to your base. And you're trying to complete your whole pizza, because we all know sloths love pizza. And that's just one game mode. In fact, there's around 5 different game modes. There's a King of the Hill version. There's Golden Slice, where only one slice of pizza drops and everyone's fighting over it. There's a survival mode. It's crazy. And then as you mentioned, there's a lot of hats. And every time you play, every time you finish the game, win or lose, you get access to more of those hats. If you win, you get even more. When by the time the game's released, there will be over 1,000 hats, and it's really impressive what they've done with them. There's basically anything you could possibly think of to be a hat is a hat in there, including some things you wouldn't think of being a hat, like a sloth spinning around on a stripper pole that you wear as a hat. So it's a lot of fun, really, and there's over 20 different types of guns, almost 30 different levels. So there's just plenty of opportunity to play and play again, and really get good and fun at it.
Now, is there going to be a constant production team, or is it when it's the final product, that's it? Like, you're going to have more updates, more maps, more modes and all that to play on, or?
I don't know, actually, at this point. I think it really depends on what the reaction is when it comes out. Right now, we're just focused on getting it out, which it should be out sometime soon. But I do know, actually, one thing that they are currently doing is every Wednesday night on Twitch, they have a stream where they create new hats live. And they'll take suggestions from the people who are watching the stream and make hats, and they go into the game. So, in fact, one of our producers was watching the stream, and they made a hat of his dog, and now it's in the game. So it's a really cool thing. If you're interested in the development, that you can go through and maybe suggest a hat that ends up in the game. So definitely follow official RT Games, and Battle Sloths has a social presence as well. It's all up there now.
So when will they said the game will be available in the coming months and all that? What is the price? Is it going to be like a regular arcade game, or?
To be determined.
To be determined. Alrighty, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's it from Rooster Teeth booth for Rectify Gaming. I'm Mike Basile. This is Jeff Chamberlain.
Thank you very much.
Get rectified. Thank you.